Hello, little chefs. Welcome. We are going to get started here. Let me link up Instagram. Okay. All right. I think I'm live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Talk Shop Live. So going live on 4 different places. This is crazy. I'm seeing your comments all come in here. Oh, you ordered Passport to Flavor. You know what? Let me grab the book. Let me grab the book here. Happy Friday. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Here it is, the one and only Passport to Flavor, coming out on January 20th, which is just a few days away. This has taken 2 years to make. I saw that in the comments you guys wanted to see my recipes, so I took the past 2 years and actually tested recipes. You know, because I grew up in a family where it's like, yeah, throw a little bit of garlic in, throw a little bit of
whatever's left over.
Whatever's left over. I've got 2 mics on. I got my mic, and I also got
the mama mic.
My mom's mic. So come on over here, Mom.
Oh, just for a second.
Say hello.
Hello, everybody. I'm here for sous chefing. So's Dad, Greg.
Welcome. Welcome. So yeah, I got the whole family here. My dad is here. He's going to be the official taste tester. So yes, if you go ahead and hit that shop button, if you're in Talk Shop Live and hit the shop button, you will get Passport to Flavor, a signed copy. If you're in Facebook or Instagram, just in the comment box, type shop, and then you'll get a DM from Talk Shop Live to purchase the book. And if you're on YouTube, go to the description in the video, in the live video, and there's a link, and it will take you to Talk Shop Live to order the signed copy. This is like the only place that you can get a signed copy of Passport to Flavor, my cookbook. So don't miss out. Happy Friday, everyone. Okay. Mom?
Yes.
I'm putting you in charge of the questions.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be doing a little demo for you guys out of this cookbook. So we are doing a recipe from Canada, and so where we stop in Canada in our little yacht voyage. So in this cookbook, we are going on a yacht adventure around the world. We're pulling into port cities around the world. And one of the port cities that we pull into is Prince Edward Island, Canada. So let me go ahead and open up to Canada.
Now, can I make a suggestion? Well, that you start cooking and I read it.
Yes.
So that you have the time, because this will be truly just an hour from what I understand.
It doesn't have to be. It can be as long as I want. But we will crank out a recipe. The recipe takes like 15 minutes. That's the whole point of this cookbook. I want it to be approachable.
Okay. True.
Little chefs. And let me read you the definition of little chef.
Oh, yeah. See, this is one of the first
This is one of the introduction pages. I've defined little chef. It's a noun. And it's a term of endearment used to describe those who know that every recipe is within reach when approached with a sense of joy and adventure. Oh, yeah. That just sums up all of my little chefs.
I don't see any questions yet. But
I do.
Oh,
okay. Who did the photography? Looks gorgeous. Thank you. You want to flip through it?
I will. Well, you do it. You tell me what to do, though.
Okay, I'm just going to flip through it and show you the photography. So
that doesn't do diddly. Go slower. Go slower.
I'm going slower. Wait. So the photography.
Every recipe has a picture, a photo.
Yeah, I wanted it to be, because food is just gorgeous. So it needed to have its whole page, you know,
and pictures of the countries. And then, of course, Abby on the scene.
Yeah,
on the yacht.
Like travel adventures from my family. Okay, so photography was done by an amazing company. What were they called?
Well, Chris was his name, and it was called
Reactor Media. Reactor Media,
and it was Chris D'Amico.
Yeah, incredible. So
it was so much fun.
They did like 75% of the photos, and then 25% of the photos were done by me.
On the back porch.
on the back porch.
Up
And I was
on-
like,
up
I was like on ladders, like looking down at the food. I'm not a photographer. I like to thank my really expensive camera for the photography because
Yes, that's true.
It did do wonders. Let me show you one of my favorite photos that
Which one is it, babe?
Hawaii.
Okay.
This one was done by the company. That's one of my favorite recipes. It's the crunchy chicken salad from Vietnam. And then from Hawaii, one of my favorite photos that I did, and even the photographer, like the professional photographer, was like,
true.
that's an incredible photo. The coconut shrimp.
It was so good.
I mean,
Tell them about that event, which obviously is a video that you made for the photo shoot, but
yeah,
how many recipes in how many days?
guys, if
was
you
crazy.
haven't seen the video, okay, if you go to YouTube and watch the video of the behind the scenes of making or doing all the photography, 3 days on a yacht at HMY down in South Florida, they graciously let us borrow a yacht.
It's kind of fun.
It's crazy. I don't know how we got a yacht in our hands, but I guess my mom made the call, and she you can't say no to my mother.
No one says no to a mother. A
So-
proud mother.
So we went down to South Florida, we got on the yacht, and I was preparing food. I was like prepping like a crazy woman.
But 2 weeks earlier, every day was a matter of what can we
That's what
prep
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I was prepping like a crazy woman.
to get to that point.
Yeah, 2 weeks ahead of 2 weeks before the scheduled photography. I had everything in like deli containers, which are like my favorite things in the world.
Mhm.
So freezer full of deli containers, refrigerator full of deli containers. I packed a Honda Pilot, and not the new Honda Pilots, the 2010
Our old
Honda
one
Pilots
with
that are
220,000 miles on
like
it.
the square footage of that thing. It's like a small apartment. So that thing was like packed to the brim with all of the food. So we get on this yacht, 3 days, 65 recipes were photographed. 65 recipes. I think I napped for 3 days after that.
It was crazy.
It was like 3
And
days
I
on,
made-
3 days off.
And I made a lot of soup because all that fresh produce, that which you see on the front cover is fresh, and it was ready to be made into a nice soup. So
She's a resourceful one. It transferred down to me, but it started with my Gigi, who
and that's who it's dedicated to 3 generations of cooks. Go ahead and read that.
my Gigi, which is my great grandmother, who lived fearlessly until the age of 100. She was like this strong German woman.
That's right.
Who taught me how to be resourceful because she lived through the Great Depression. My Nana, my grandmother, who laughed heartily that she sometimes snorted,
It's true.
and who taught me to be inventive.
Innovative.
Sorry, I don't have my glasses on.
Do you want me to get your glasses?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I
And
choose
then,
to live
and then
fearlessly.
this is the best.
My mom and dad, my parents, who are so in love with each other and with life,
He's shy.
that we, their family and friends, gather around them as often as possible. Thank you for modeling what a rich life looks like when you open up your heart and let people in.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. You said you wanted this read. So as you start cooking or looking at questions, do you want me to read something from the Canada that you were saying this is a recipe from Canada?
Sure.
So the intro?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we're doing a recipe from Canada today. We're doing the mussels and leeks, which are chef's kiss, coming from a chef. My mom is going to read an excerpt from Canada.
Okay.
Take it away, Mom. Stand in that little box right there.
Yeah. Do I need to be? No,
Yep, that's
you.
for Instagram.
Oh, okay. Where am I looking?
At the camera.
Okay. Oh, Canada, we're coming for your crisp, abundant waters. And this is from Abby's point of view, obviously. I love seeing Canada.
Wait, stop for a second. I forgot to say, she's the ghostwriter.
I'm the
So
ghostwriter.
everything creative, not like I wrote the
She
recipes.
wrote it.
I
She
wrote the
wrote it.
recipes, and then all the storytelling is my mother.
Yeah. Well, it's Abby telling the stories, me writing it, because I was a language arts teacher for 30 plus years. So that came naturally. It was a God thing, you know? All right. I love seeing Canada from the vantage point of a yacht as we approach the port at Prince Edward Island. This is nature's playground. PEI, Prince Edward Island, conjures up fond memories of local lobster, mussels, oysters, and scallops sourced near the marina. The waters are teeming with life, and I partake of its bounty every time I visit. You want me to keep going, right? Oh, Kitty came. She wants
No. Tulip.
Get down, Tulip.
She was a showgirl.
The landscape is idyllic. As you look inland from the picturesque coastline, miles of meadows stretch as far as the eye can see. Quaint villages dot this bucolic landscape like a perfectly portrayed oil painting. Far from reality, I imagine myself frolicking, do it, Abby, in a lace-trimmed, puffy-sleeved dress similar to that worn by Anne in Anne of Green Gables, enjoying the wildflowers and the whimsy. The author of the books in this series, Lucy Maud Montgomery, based them on her own childhood in PEI, where she lived in a white farmhouse with green gables. I think you must read this paragraph, though. Oh, you can't read with your glasses.
Read.
I would live on Prince Edward Island in a similar farmhouse if summer were eternal, but I would don jeans and farming boots instead of a dress. Thank you very much. Is that like so, Abby? Of course it is. Summertime conditions are perfect for growing barley, oats, wheat, corn, potatoes, beans, carrots, cabbage, cauliflower, onions, tomatoes, and cucumbers. How ideal is that, little chef, to grow beautiful produce right on your own land? So every chapter, every country of these 14 has this intro that gives you a kind of a glance at the port and the provisions you could get there, which is what Abby, of course, does when she gets to a port. All right, do you want me to start cutting up anything?
Laura's in here. Laura is my
godmother.
No,
not
not
different god.
No. Laura's from Instagram. She's my biggest help because whenever I try to bake something on live, she always comes in clutch and tells me that I'm doing it wrong.
Oh,
no, in the best way.
No, in a good way.
Yeah, in the best way.
Is everything fine now? Thumbs up that everyone's being heard and seen, and
yeah, everything's going well.
Okay, which recipe?
Okay, so
that one. Do you see
what represents? I got to stand in the box here.
Yeah, just stand in the box.
What represents my personal cooking style? I would say my recipes from Thailand. My specialty is Asian cuisine, and Thai food is like my favorite. So let me go to probably my most popular recipe. Thailand. Okay, so we got some mango sticky rice. We got my Thai red curry, which is like my favorite food in the whole entire world. We got some tom yum soup. We got some green papaya salad. I'm kind of going backwards.
You are going backward.
Let me start in breakfast. So how it's organized is when you go into the country, there are 7 recipes, and they are like what I would cook in a day on a yacht. So it starts with breakfast. Breakfast is a Thai omelet. It's kind of spicy, you know, and it's got some fresh herbs in there. And it's just delicious because guess what? It's like fried. So delicious. It gets the eggs nice and puffy. Then we got pad see ew.
Lunch.
For lunch. We've got, and we're entering cocktail hour now. We got sabi sabi as the cocktail. And that's going to pair perfectly with our appetizer, which is a green papaya salad. So you've probably seen papaya and it's orange. What that is a ripened papaya. So when we get green papaya, it needs to be unripened. You might be able to find this at like Walmart or Publix. If they just get in a fresh shipment, it's going to be green. However, usually you'll see it kind of yellow on the outside. The underripe papaya you want is going to be green on the exterior. A ripe papaya will have like a yellowish hue to it, and that's great, but it's like a banana. Like the longer it ripens, the sweeter it gets. So we want an underripe papaya, and this is insanely good. Highly recommend. Start in Thailand. If you get the book, I suggest starting in Thailand. Tom yum soup. My beef Thai red curry, which is just a classic, and then ending the meal with mango sticky rice.
And then Emily asks if there are any dishes that have special significance from your travels or interactions with locals. That's a great question, Emily.
Let's see.
What about like when you're in the Bahamas and the guy's ready to come up
that's,
with his
you're
fresh
so
wine
right.
and
You're
all
so
that?
right. Okay.
That's a good one.
So in the Bahamas, whenever I get out on the island, I just go talk to the locals, especially the locals that we go get like lunch from. I'm like, tell me your ways. Tell me how you do this. So this recipe, my Calypso cracked lobster, it's typically done with conch, but conch is hard to find in the States. However, if you have a Publix, I talked to the fish guy, and he said, we always have it in the freezer. We just don't have it in the case. So people don't even know about it. So talk to your butcher at the Publix or your fish dude at the Publix and say you have conch, because you can use conch for this. And it's one of the substitutions that I talk about in the cookbook. So we were at a bar after a long day of work with the captain, the first mate, and the stew. And I sat down and they said, get the cracked conch with the Calypso sauce. So this is from a bar adventure with the crew, this recipe.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that, as far as when Abby was talking about the alternatives, there are some cute verbiage that we use. If it's something that you're going to substitute, it would be called, let me see if there's an example.
Holy cow, we have 491 people in
Abby,
here.
while I'm
Welcome.
looking for that, Sebastian says, what advice do you have for home cooks who want to recreate restaurant quality international dishes?
That's a good question.
Okay, when you think about it. So one of the things that we were just talking about is if you want to adjust the amount of something, we call it throttle control because you're on the yacht, right? So that's a cool way of saying it. If you want to avoid something hard, we call it a rogue wave because you don't want to hit a rogue wave. So it'll say, you know, be careful, that'll burn if you do this, or et cetera, et cetera. And then alternate course, you know, when you would steer a different way, that's when, of course, Abby might suggest something other than, you know, what it's called. So a different fish or a different protein or whatever. Or if you can't find it, try this.
Okay, to Sebastian's question.
Yes.
So advice to home cooks that want to create restaurant quality food. I think that personally, I like cooking at home far more than going to restaurants because I know what I'm putting in the dish. I know I'm using whole or like real ingredients, and I can kind of adjust as needed to what I want it to be. But I think the answer to a lot of things is butter and salt. Usually, most of the time, food is undersalted, and it just takes a little salt. I might get like a little tattoo of a salt molecule because that's how much I love salt.
Okay.
My mom doesn't like that one.
No, I do like that. I just don't want you to get a tattoo. I like that salt idea. All right. Let's see. Mom will want to remind people verbally a few times. What? What am I doing?
Oh, here we go.
What does that mean?
Yeah, if you are watching on TikTok or on Talk Shop Live, go ahead and hit the shop button and you'll get my cookbook signed and delivered to you. If you're on Facebook and Instagram, you can just type shop in the comments. Just type shop and you're going to get a DM sent to you from Talk Shop Live to buy the book. And if you are on YouTube, just go to the description and their link will be in there and it will take you to Talk Shop Live. And all you have to do is hit shop and then you'll get my book signed. The only place to get a signed book. So don't miss out.
Okay, let's see. When do you have to start cooking? Are you good? Because I can read some of these.
There's so many.
Okay, so Greg, would you start reading some of the questions?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. I'm just going to start cooking and then
put us to work. Dad and I will cut things up if you need us. I'll step out and you tell me if you need me. Oh, I'll just ask questions from the side.
That's fine.
Yeah? Okay, babe.
Or you know what you can do?
What, me or Dad?
Give me your phone.
Oh, okay.
Give me your phone.
All right. Here it is.
I got a great idea.
All right. Oh, I can go. Dad and I can look at the questions. Yep, I got it.
Sign in there for yourself.
All right, my face. All right.
Hi from Ireland. Hello from Ireland. Wow, your country, your beautiful country is featured in the cookbook.
Here, I got it. I'm on.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to see the questions like everybody else.
You should, I think.
How crazy is this? This is like looking at an infinity mirror, right?
Chat. Okay, so you can just read through those. Just scroll through those.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, here we go. We are making a recipe today. Let me pull up my cookbook. Can you pass me the cookbook?
Yes.
All right, we are opening up. Open your textbooks to Canada.
Dad's going to hold the book for you.
Oh,
He's going to
great.
be a great holder there. Book stand.
We're making the mussels and leeks. This is a delicious recipe. Okay, so for the mussels and leeks, we're going to start with our prep work, which is cutting up lots of garlic. Who doesn't love garlic, right? Garlic is a staple. All right, so lots of garlic. Here, you can scroll up like that and look if there are any questions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because it's not.
so we're just going to take our knife and we're going to use the flat side of the knife. Go like this. Look. 2 fingers to scroll up and down.
Right.
Okay, we're going to take the side of my knife and you're just going to press down. Press down to take that skin right off. It comes right off. All right, the skin is off. And we're going to do that with lots more garlic. And this recipe comes together in like 15 minutes. So, I mean, it might take a little longer because I'll be answering questions and stuff. But if you were to just like lock in and cook, 15-minute little appetizer. And it just packs a punch.
Someone asked if this is your first book and what did it feel like?
This is my first book. It was a ton of work, a lot more work than I thought. But it's crazy to finally hold something in my hand. Everything for the past 2 years was in a Word document.
That was Gina Lee. That was a good question, Gina Lee.
So it finally feels real. That's how it feels. But I worked with a great team at HarperCollins, and
absolutely.
And
Chandra wants to know where the name Abby and the Galley came from.
I was sitting at the dinner table. This was like a week before I left for my first trip. And it was like COVID time and everyone was on TikTok. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a TikTok. And I'm going to be working in a galley. My name's Abby. It kind of rhymes. We're going with Abby and the Galley. And then I said, follow me before I get famous. You remember that?
I do totally remember all this.
Follow me before I get famous, as a joke. You know, I was never expecting this.
It's fun.
Look at this. I got a cookbook now. Crazy stuff.
It is fun. Do you have your own restaurant? Chandra wants to know.
I do not have my own restaurant. I'm a private chef on a yacht. So I just go wherever the client needs me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And are there any vegan recipes in the book? Not specifically, right?
No, I don't like specify like vegetarian or vegan, but I'm sure there's some. And
Elizabeth asks if you had to leave out anything from the book. Yeah, there are other countries we just didn't get to put in, right?
Yeah. We had like a certain amount of pages that we had to fill, and I had Japan in there, but I had to boot Japan.
So maybe it'll be a second book.
All
right, I'm going to be quiet until you tell me otherwise.
Moving on to leeks. Okay, so for the leeks, these things are usually really dirty, so we need to clean them very well. It looks like there are more comments coming in.
Okay. I'm oh no, baby. I didn't want to miss anybody.
Oh.
I was starting at the top.
I would start. Okay.
Well, I'll make it. I promise you.
Okay.
I'm going to be very thorough.
Okay.
But you have to tell me when to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, be quiet right now.
All right.
Because I'm going to talk about leeks.
Okay.
Okay, for the leeks, we're going to cut off the smallest bit from the root here. Okay. And to best clean these, I'm going to cut them down the center.
When did you start cooking? That's what Mickey asks. What age?
Well,
don't just make it a quick answer.
Ever since I can remember, I was cooking with my Nana and Gigi professionally. I was 18. As soon as I can get into a kitchen at Walt Disney World is where I first started.
Trained well. Oh my gosh. Sorry, that was me. That was me being crazy. Are you doing a book tour, Irene asks?
Yes, I am. If you go to abbyandthegalley.com, there's a tab specifically for book tours. And if you're not in, I do a ton in Florida, but there's one coming up in Texas, in Houston, if you live there.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. So this is where it's usually really dirty in all of these layers. So I'm going to go to the sink and rinse these out really quick.
Okay, and then you can keep talking.
Yes.
Mason wants to know, because you're cooking in small spaces, what's the most challenging dish you've had to adapt for a small yacht galley?
Oof.
That's a good question, because sometimes it's like 20 people she's cooking for.
Yeah. So everything's tiny, like on a yacht. The grill, I just have to like cook in batches. Like that's how I do. Like if I'm grilling, I'm just thinking about that big barbecue I did for like 30 people. I have a grill probably the size of this cutting board, so I could only fit like 6 chicken breasts or 6 chicken thighs on it. So I just had to do everything in batches. Everything's in a small little container. So
good point.
Yes, there's some differences. I don't have all my commercial equipment, but usually we don't have 24 people on board. It's like 7, so it's not too bad.
And what's this is from Carrie, the most surprising response you've received from your social media community? Surprising response.
That I have a soothing voice. No one has said that to me in my life until I got on social media.
I think it is actually, but
okay, let me say something about this. Yeah. So we're just going up to where it turns to, it's like light green and like a white, and then it gets to dark green. We're going to stop where it turns to the white green. It's a little more fibrous and not as tender.
And Quinn wants to know, what's the most memorable meal you prepared while at sea, and what made it special?
My favorite types of meals are when the boys go fishing and they come back with yellow eye snapper, which is a deep sea fish. And I like to call their fishing cheating because they have an electric reel. So it drops down with a big weight. It's down 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet.
That's cool.
And there's a specific type of fish that's just delicious. We use it for ceviche all the time. Yellow eye snapper, and they bring those back in the masses sometimes. So cool. I love cooking that fish whenever we get it. I'll bake it, I'll put it into ceviche. It's like on Forrest Gump. Fish gumbo, fried fish.
That's true. All right, Ren wants to know, what's your go-to comfort meal when you're not traveling or filming? In other words, the real Abby, tired at 8 o'clock at night in your PJs. I know the answer to this, but I'll let.
What do you think it is?
I think it's mac and cheese.
Ooh, that slaps. But okay, so if I have zero energy, I'll crack a box of Velveeta mac and cheese, and I don't know what it is. It's probably the worst thing in the world. It's not even that good, but it just brings back some good memories. Very nostalgic. If I had a little bit more energy, Thai red curry, which is recipe in the cookbook.
Yeah, that is in the cookbook. All right, Ariel, if you could bring one dish from the book to a dinner party, which one would it be and why? Oh, you guys have such great questions. What do you think? One dinner party.
That's so hard.
Okay, so.
Okay, I got it. Because my brother and his wife make this every single time they go to a friend's house. It's the Hawaiian mac salad with the huli chicken, which is like a sweet pineapple-y grilled chicken with mac salad, which is just, I don't even like mayonnaise-based things, but something about the mac salad, you just keep digging.
And the longer it sits in the fridge to kind of marinate, the better.
Yeah, don't taste test it. I've already tested the recipe for you. So don't taste test it, because you're going to be like, ew, what the heck? It has to sit in the fridge for at least 2 hours.
True. All right. Danny says, do you have plans for another cookbook?
Well, we're missing a lot of countries.
Yeah. So there are a lot more countries.
So possibly.
Yeah. Lucy E., how do you handle provisioning and meal planning when you might be days away from the next port? True.
How do I what?
Provision. So the whole idea of Miami and all that, like their
Oh
first
yeah.
event.
So I provisioned like $20,000 worth of ingredients out of Miami for these 2-month trips. So there's a lot of food on board. The only thing that I will have to provision throughout the trip is produce. So I have made things from frozen vegetables and canned vegetables before when, you know, a supply boat isn't hasn't come to the island. So I make it work, and I like to call it magic because no one knows that we have 0 food in the refrigerator. And they're like, "Oh, Abby, this tastes great." Okay, one second.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to the mussels. So I need to clean these mussels. I'm going to put them in a big bowl. And I'm going to just put some water. Well, actually, I'll salt them first.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Salt and water. And it's going to start spitting out any sand that it has. So let me go ahead and fill this up with water.
All right, as she does that. So what's the one thing about your life as a yacht chef that most people don't realize? This is from Danny. This has, gosh, you can go all different ways with that. What do people not know?
That it's not as glamorous as you probably think.
That's exactly
like
right.
on our last trip. You can hear these guys spitting right now. They're like, psst, psst. They're spitting out all the sand
Because they're alive.
On the last trip, the boat was we chartered a catamaran, and you couldn't flush your toilet paper. So it's like camping. You're on a yacht, but it feels like you're camping. So not as glamorous as you might think.
Right. Marley asks, what's the most unusual ingredient request you've received from yacht guests? Most unusual ingredient request.
They love octopus.
Huh.
They love octopus. So I would say octopus.
Yeah. And Maria, I think that's an I. How has your audience from social media influenced your cookbook work? I love that.
How has what?
Your like the social media followers. How do they influence your cookbook?
They're the one asking
This
for
is
the
the
recipes.
reason. This is the reason. You guys are the reason for sure.
Yeah, you guys all asked for recipes, so I was like, you know what? I should probably get going on that.
And comments always help because it's real. You guys are real people, real influencers, you know, as far as helping out. All right, Evelyn asks, were there any surprising cultural lessons you've learned while researching dishes for the book?
I had to do a lot of research.
There's a ton.
Yeah, to just make sure that I was showing that, you know, the traditional. I mean, there's definitely an Abby spin to it, but I tried to stay as traditional as I could.
I agree.
And
with
like
respectful of what they value.
Yeah.
You know, and how they even eat food, such as like, you know, you let an elder eat first. You know, some of the countries we talk about how you would want to have that cultural experience even when you sit down at the table at that country.
Yes. And also I made sure to make, because some of the stuff, it's just hard to find here, you know?
True.
So I had to kind of change things if, you know, you couldn't get a certain ingredient. Okay, stop for a second.
Yes.
We have a bivalve that is not closed. So that might mean that it's dead. So to check to see if it's dead, you give it a little tap. And he's not closing. If he closed, he would be alive. But he's dead because he's not closing back up. So he's a goner. So I'm just looking to make sure that all are closed here. And some of these mussels, like if they're wild mussels, they have this little thing called a beard. I think these are farm because I'm not seeing any beards unless they've already done it for us. Oh, here's a little beard. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you can see that like little, looks like algae almost. So with the beards, you just pluck them off. You just take them off. You can eat them. I mean, it's totally fine. But just take off the beards. What the beard is for the mussel is like, it just clings on to like whatever, a rock. So it doesn't get swept away or anything like that. So it's just their way of like holding on. It's like a little hand. Okay, so these have spit out their sand. I'm going to go ahead and just drain the liquid here.
Okay. Meanwhile, Wendy S. asks, what's the biggest misconception students have about cooking that you would want to change? And she has plenty of students because she's a culinary arts teacher by day. So what do you think there is as a misconception, Abby?
A misconception about cooking?
Yeah.
About the culinary world?
And she didn't specify, if it has to do with ingredients or about cooking in general.
Yeah.
So what's the misconception that you find students have?
I would have to say back to the glamour thing. Like a lot of the, like when Food Network came out, like I love the Food Network. I grew up watching the Food Network, but it's rough in the kitchen. But if you love it, if you got the passion, you can make it. But it is long hours. I always tell my students, they're like, I want to be a chef. I'm like, okay, great. I am a chef and I love the industry, but I would highly suggest going to Shadow and make sure you know what it's all about first.
Okay. Do you need me to be quiet?
I can go to the next thing really quick. Okay. So we got our Dad, you're doing a great job. Just like holding the book up here. Like a little altar boy.
Emotional support.
Okay, so for the shallots, we are going to cut these like an onion because it's like a little small onion. They're a bit more sweet. They're a bit sweeter. Oh, thank you, Dad. So I found that the only way to prevent tears are these bad boys. So let's gear up.
Especially the shiny ones.
Let's gear up. Here we are. Oh, remember, if you want to buy Passport to Flavor, show the book. Show the book here.
Come on, baby.
No, the front cover. Get it in that square.
Right in the middle, Dad.
That rectangle there. If you want to buy Passport to Flavor, click the shop link in Talk Shop Live, and you'll get it. You'll get a signed copy. The only place you can get a signed copy. I look ridiculous.
All of these. Is that right? Wait.
No.
Where are they?
Listen.
Okay.
In Talk Shop Live, if you hit shop, you'll get a signed copy of my cookbook. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, in the comments, all you need to do is type shop. And you're going to get a DM to buy the cookbook. Signed copy. Only place you can get a signed copy. And on YouTube, there's a link in the description to buy the signed copy. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so we're going to get going. These are so foggy, I can't see a thing. So hopefully I won't cut off my finger.
Stop. She can do it without seeing anyway.
All right, so I have this cut where the root, I cut halfway through the root, right? That's what's going to keep our little shallot, same case with the onion, intact, okay? So I'm going to cut off the opposite side of the root. And then I'm going to peel it.
As you do that, Evelyn asks if there are certain recipes that you pair with certain memories, travel memories.
I think we already answered that one.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, moving on. Jackson says, do you test all of your recipes in both the Yacht, galley, and a home kitchen?
Ooh, I only tested it in a home kitchen because I had a grocery store down the street, so I could get all my ingredients. So I couldn't really test on the boat because I wouldn't know like if I would have all the ingredients, you know?
That's true.
Okay, one second.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to make cuts back towards the root. And I'm cutting all the way down, but stopping about 1/8 of an inch from the root. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Cool question. Tyler asks, what's one ingredient you think every home cook should try cooking with at least once? One ingredient that each home cook should try. Fish sauce. Fish sauce. Oh, good.
Fish sauce. And that's used a ton in like the Vietnamese dishes and the Thai dishes in my cookbook. And it smells not good. It doesn't smell pleasant. It's very fishy. And it's anchovies. Like anchovies with salt. And it's just like liquefied.
Which is
it's a liquid.
And it's what Italians put in their marinaras, and it's what is in the Caesar salad. So
yeah, anchovies
it adds that what is that word? Umami?
Yeah, it just kind of rounds out the flavor. It doesn't make it fishy.
Yeah, at
It
all.
doesn't taste fishy.
Yep. Jackson. Nope. I did that one. Yep. What's the ingredient you think? Oh, got that. Juliet, can you share a favorite recipe from the book? And we did that one.
Yes.
You got it. All right.
Thai red curry.
Yep. Juliet. Beautiful name. What were some of the biggest challenges adapting recipes for home kitchens versus a yacht galley?
Well, the great thing about this book is that you can cook on these recipes from anywhere. We thought about like being in New York City in a small apartment because the yacht galley is probably the size of like a condo kitchen.
Right.
So if you got a nice big kitchen at home, you are in luxury. So these recipes are intended to be, you can cook them anywhere.
Adaptable.
Yeah.
And most are to serve for, unless it's a, if I'm remembering correctly, baked good, which would serve more because who doesn't want to, have extra the next night. But most of them are for serving 4 people. So it's easy to, either keep that or do your math and make it what you need.
Let me remind people.
Yeah.
I come in peace, first of all. If you would like to buy my cookbook on Talk Shop Live, this is the only way to get a signed copy of my cookbook.
Take your glasses off now. No.
Nope. I think this is perfect. So if you would like to buy my signed copy, the only way you can get a signed copy of my cookbook, click the shop link if you're on Talk Shop Live. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, type shop in the comments and they're going to DM you with all the info. And if you're on YouTube, go to the description and click that link. Thank you.
Peace out.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
All right, let's see. Yeah, people are watching from all over the place. This is fun, Abby. There are over 400 people. Keeps growing.
900.
Oh,
or 800.
800. Awesome. Parker at S asks, who are your culinary heroes or influence?
Ina Garden. She's my homie. I wish I knew her to really call her a homie, but I would, and don't take this the bad way, Ina, but I would call you my napping show because you're just so peaceful, and I just want to like be in your living room, but like watching you cook and like watching golf and like watching you cook at the same time. That would just be like that's perfect.
And that's what it was like with Nana and Gigi.
Yeah, I know.
Because it was just all that wonderfulness happening right there. So comforting. All right, Henry A wants to know, is there a dish from your childhood that still influences your cooking today? Maybe something from Italy?
Yeah, all the Italian dishes.
She's an Italian. Well, she's that, and the last name Cheshire is English, but the Italian influence, which is maternal side. All right, let's see. Someone called you High Tulip. I don't know who that is. Maybe that means something.
Oh, wait, go up.
Yeah, it's from Marianne.
Oh my gosh, how does she know Tulip's name?
Oh, that's funny. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't you, it was the cat. Okay. Ren asked.
Hi, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, the one that came to the cookbook signing.
Yo, of course, Elizabeth. We know you. Okay, Ren says, was there a specific travel moment or dish that made you think this has to be in the book? Okay, think about that.
You know what? Can I tell another travel story that didn't get in the book, but because we didn't even travel to this country, but it's a good travel.
Okay.
Slovenia.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so listen.
This is fun.
I was in the streets playing soccer in Slovenia.
This is hilarious.
And we were kind of being a little loud, but just like, kids just playing sports. So we had a soccer ball, and in Slovenia, the home we were staying in was like 4 stories tall, but just super, super narrow. So what we were doing was like taking the ball, punting it up to the 3rd story. And
that's innocent enough, right?
Yeah, we were causing no issues.
That's right.
So we were just having fun tossing the soccer ball in and out of the window. And apparently the neighbor in that alleyway did not like it because about 10 minutes in, like the size of like a Foster's beer can, it comes hauling right past I was like, 9 maybe. Foster size beer can, hauling down. If I got hit, because I came from like the 4th story, if I got hit, I would have been goner.
I don't know if she was with it.
So
Because
beer
everyone
can.
else, let's just qualify this by the Slovenians were uber nice.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So she was not the representative one.
Yeah. So the beer can came past my head flying, and we like looked at the beer can. It was filled with water. So she drank the beer, filled it with water, in intent to try to stop me to playing soccer. Okay, I think we can take these off.
Whew. Okay, let's see. Vanessa, if you could cook with anyone, living or deceased, who would it be and what would you make?
My Nana and Gigi.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Sausage and peppers. That's what I remember them from.
With fresh bread, fresh Italian bread.
Yes.
Nice. True. All right. Let's see. Lola, love that name, asks, do you have a signature dish that guests always request?
My Thai red curry, which is in the cookbook. It is, like I said, it's one of my most popular dishes
super
on the yacht.
Super amazing. All right.
Super amazing.
Mitch says, what inspired you to create Passport to Flavor and focus on globally inspired dishes?
Can I'm sorry, but can we go to like the ones that are here just
to
so
make sure there's nothing that's fresh coming in?
Yeah.
All right.
And then you can scroll back up. Just go from
Okay.
Let's do that.
Someone said, can you come to Western Australia?
Ooh.
Right. Oh, mate. Probably not the right way. I don't know how to speak. I've been to Australia, but that'd be fun to go back. Let's do it, Abby. That's from Kirsten.
I haven't been to Australia yet.
Do you have a stop in Chicago for the book? That's actually been discussed, Mackenzie. So we'll have to, once we get our heads on straight, and I say that because her dad and I have been managing all of the stuff that happens with making a cookbook. And so we're trying to help her orchestrate some travel. So good idea. Well taken. Point well taken. Oh, and Elizabeth loves the Thai red curry. Yeah, because she does.
You were on the boat.
That's right. Abby's done some spot on things. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. All right. Okay. Let's see. Kirsten got message. Oh, it says, Abigail, listen to this. Kristen S says, got messenger DM with link, but it says page not found.
That shouldn't be true. Okay. Kristen, if you go to you can find it so many places. My last post, the photo post, it will have a link that will take you to it. So it should take you right there, Kristen. Okay, I'm putting in the butter.
Oh, and listen, Frances says she tried to order, but it only says USA, but I need it to be Canada. I don't know if Frances is able to do that outside the States.
I don't know.
Oh, Frances.
I don't know.
Frances.
Wait, I don't know. It doesn't show on is there like Amazon in Canada?
I don't know if Amazon is the way it goes through. Maybe someone from Talk Shop Live can leave a post and we'll understand better. So hold that thought. We want to be able to get you a signed copy. So we will somehow. You just hang in there, Frances. Hang in there, Frances.
Okay, stop for a second. Okay, so in my pot here, I got my olive oil and butter, the start of any good dish. And you know what the next ingredient is that is another good start? Garlic.
Big time.
Okay, what's next? Any other?
Yeah, Hope says, what's next after Passport to Flavor? How about a big nap?
A big nap. That sounds great.
With some mac and cheese when you wake up.
Oh, Velveeta mac and cheese. Let's go.
All right, let's see. Oh, this is a cool name. Larissa K. Okay, she's just giving you a kind of a love statement there. You posted, but not sure it will be signed. Can't find link to order while alive. So that's Kristen.
If you hit shop, if you type shop in the comments, it should bring you there. If not, go to my Abby and the Galley page, and on my last post, I have the link. I have the link there.
Okay. And if for some reason something doesn't happen by the end of this session, honestly, Abby cares about making sure that if you're trying, that you're getting what you need. So somehow reach out. Like Abby has a place on her abbyandthegalley.com.
Just email me.
You can email her.
Just,
okay,
yeah.
please.
And if you are watching on Talk Shop Live, just hit the shop button to get a signed copy of the book. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, type shop in the comments and they'll DM you. And if you're on YouTube, click the link in the bio and it will take you to Talk Shop Live and just hit shop. Only place to get a signed copy. All right, so right now, I'm just melting some butter and olive oil. And the next thing that goes in.
And just to repeat what this is, because Baby Gray says, what is this? And Mackenzie. So this is from Canada.
This is a recipe from Canada. It's mussels and leeks. And it's just so delicious. But it's one of the recipes out of my cookbook, Passport to Flavor.
And Marianne wants you to come to East Coast of Canada. That'd be fun. We had such great memories. We were there.
On Canada Day.
Oh my gosh.
In Prince Edward Island. And they threw this huge party.
It was amazing. All right. Tell us how to get a sweet gig like a yacht chef. Yeah, don't we all want to?
I somehow, I wasn't looking for it. But if I would suggest going to like a boat show. And there's going to be tons of yacht owners there at a yacht show, and just start chatting them up and seeing if you can get a gig. Because usually the turnaround for people on a boat, there's a lot of
tell them
turnover.
For a few days you were out and they had to have someone come onto the boat.
I haven't told the story, so it's a good one.
It is a good one.
So I had a replacement chef come in for me for a week. And he came in, and I told him where everything was. I was like, okay.
There is Amazon Canada.
There is Amazon Canada. If you're in Canada, it's on Amazon Canada. You can get it if you're in Canada.
Does it get?
But it doesn't get signed.
Oh, okay.
Just email me, and I'll send you something.
Okay.
Anyway, a replacement chef came in for me for a week. I told him, like, I set him up for success. Like, I shopped the day before he came in. I told him where everything was in the refrigerators and freezers. And like, I was like, man, you got a better stocked galley than I had. So he came in and he was thawing things at room temperature because he just didn't know how to like manage his time. He couldn't get meals out at like when they asked, like 7 p.m. If they said 7 p.m., it's got to be out at 7 p.m. So he was there for 2 days and then he got flown home.
Yeah. It's a tough gig.
It is a tough gig.
Tiffany wants to know if there are any sweets in the cookbook. Yeah, 14 of them for each of the 14 countries.
Yes, we always end the country with a sweet treat.
Yep.
All right, I'm throwing in my leeks right now.
Okay, let's see.
Remember, if you're on Talk Shop Live, hit that shop button to buy the cookbook that is signed by me. There it is. The only place to get a signed copy of Passport to Flavor, my cookbook. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, click or type shop in the comments and a DM will be sent to you. And if you're on YouTube, just hit the description in the comments. It will take you to Talk Shop Live.
Abby, I think we got all the questions.
Did we really?
That good. Yeah.
Perfect.
And all these sweet comments, you'll enjoy reading them afterward. How nice. Abby's fans, or whatever you call them, followers, are the sweetest people ever. And yes, there's a book talk. One of the questions was, or a book tour rather. And so there have been some, and there are some to come. Check out abbyandthegalley.com and you'll see where you could go. And yes, more will be added for sure. Just trying to get her bearings. It's been quite the journey. Quite the ride. Yeah, lots of different people from different places. I'm looking at where they're coming from.
Okay, so back to the mussels.
Perfect.
So I am just sauteing my, in here I got my garlic, my shallots, and my leeks, and they're just sauteing in some butter and olive oil. I season them up with salt and pepper, and I'm just getting them a little more tender before adding in my wine. Going in with white wine and mussels, just it's a match made in heaven. Oh, almost forgot. Thyme. Some fresh thyme. And there's an easy way to do this. Got your thyme sprig here. All you're going to do is take your fingers and go the opposite way that the leaves are laying. So opposite the way of the leaves, and it will come right off. Look at that. Okay. And if you're, so there's notes in the cookbook, like if you don't have fresh things, totally fine. Totally fine if you don't have fresh ingredients. You can use dried herbs. And I'll tell you exactly in the cookbook, you know, the ratio if you have dry versus fresh. So I'm putting in my thyme. And if this recipe usually would take 15 minutes, but I was chatting and taking some breaks to answer the questions. So, but normally it takes 15 minutes, and it's a great, impressive appetizer, and it's delicious. All right. I left the whole garlic clove in there. All right. If you are on Talk Shop Live, make sure to hit that shop button to buy a signed copy of the book. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, type shop in the comments and you'll get a DM. And if you're on YouTube, click the link in the description. This is the only way to get a signed, autographed copy of my cookbook. All right, leeks and shallots and garlic have softened. I'm going to go ahead and add in my wine. And the wine I'm using is a Walmart Sauvignon Blanc. Whenever I cook with wine, I just get a cheap wine. Cheap, dry wine. So dry wine is the main thing. Don't get a sweet wine. Okay, so I added in my wine. I'm going to put a little more. All right, and then I'll throw in my mussels, my cleaned mussels. And when you stir mussels, it sounds hilarious. It just sounds like a whole bunch of like clickety-clackety.
This is one thing I don't think I asked. How do food photography and travel, this is from Tyler, play a role in the storytelling of the cookbook? So the photography about the food and the travel, how does that kind of tell the story?
Well, I think they did a great job with like the colors of like the plates that they picked and like the backgrounds to like feel like you're in that country.
Right.
They did a great job with that.
Because, you know, he asked, we did not go to 14 countries. We were doing it on a yacht in one location, and that was task enough.
Okay, so I'm just steaming these mussels. The wine is going to, the water from the wine's evaporating, and it's going to steam these mussels. They're done once they open up. They start talking to you.
How much time is that usually?
2 to 4 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I got it right here. Thank you. And I'll put these in a nice bowl. Let me find a serving bowl. I don't know. I'll just do it right in this. Oh,
yeah.
I've got some sourdough. I made this fresh sourdough. It's a little old, but day old bread. Still delicious. So I'm just going to slice this up and toast it. And this is going to be served along with the mussels because there's a juice. There's lots of yummy juices in here that you can just soak that bread up with. Did we get all the questions?
We did.
Any more coming in? Hi, Chris. Hi, Tiffany. Aw, thanks, Megan. Hello from Ireland. Hello, hello.
Oh,
There's a
Abby.
country dedicated to you. What?
That's right. Read your Olivia thing. Read what she wrote for this is
Oh.
literally the sourdough.
Okay, so yes, I talk about my sourdough all the
All
time.
kinds of sticky notes.
Don't rip the page.
Baby doll.
When I am in port at Prince Edward Island, I head straight to the market, where fresh mussels abound, sweet and tender. Those beautiful bivalves capture my attention every visit, and can capture yours too, since PEI, Prince Edward Island, mussels are exported and readily available. Where? What do you mean?
No. That's cute too, though.
Oh.
There's some like little stories.
So alternate route, alternate course. Instead of baguette, use a fresh sourdough loaf. I keep a sourdough starter alive to make bread every week. My starter, Olivia Gluten John, since she was a legend. I named my starter Olivia Gluten John since she was a legend. Fresh sourdough is legendary too. So if you can find a sourdough starter friend to love, I suggest you do it. Sorry, I can't. I don't have my glasses on.
Okay, and that's why I'm reading for her. Sorry, Abby. Yeah, we could have read it for you.
They're ready.
Okay, Margaret says something. Have you tried any of the Trader Joe's viral recipes? If so, what do you think of them?
The what recipes?
Trader Joe's viral recipe. So basically anything that that's from Margaret.
I love Trader Joe's.
Yes, she does.
So I'm gonna have to, Margaret, you're gonna have to email me that. Okay. I think I'm just gonna serve it in this.
Yeah, why not? Unless it stays, does it stay too hot?
No.
Okay.
So just garnish with some fresh parsley. Look at that. Gorgita. And hot bread. Look at that. Yummy, yummy. I'm just get in there, you know?
It smells so good. Mm.
Just get in there. And I like to just take the mussel. Oh, so these are good mussels. Good job. My dad sourced these mussels.
He did. From the local fishmonger.
Mm.
Truly.
Oh, those are great mussels.
Good job, Greg.
Mmm.
Okay, and of course, Dad and I are going to eat with you afterward. Do your little happy dance.
It's so good. Garlicky, oniony, winey.
And this is from Canada in the book called Passport to Flavor. Say it one more time, Abby, if anyone needs to know. We got someone from Australia here. Annie's here.
Here, I'll hold the book.
Oh, good. Tiffany's ordering it. Yay. We're just, seriously, it's been like her dream to do this.
Thanks, Rodney. Thanks so much.
Rodney.
Okay, everybody. If you want to buy a signed copy of Passport to Flavor, the only way you can get a signed copy, click the shop button if you're on Talk Shop Live. And if you're in Facebook or Instagram, comment the word shop and they'll DM you a link to get to it. And if you're on YouTube, click the description. Click in the description, the link in the description, and it will take you to Talk Shop Live.
And we answered every question.
Woo!
We're
Okay.
at an hour. We're at an hour. And we're hungry.
And we're going to eat this, and it's very, very tasty, very good. I hope you test it out. Easy recipe, easy 15-minute recipe to dive into the cookbook with.
We might have to add some of this to our routine right now.
Is this smart wine?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Have a wonderful night, little chefs. Bye. Hope you love Passport to Flavor coming out on January 20th.